Alright, welcome back everybody. Anybody that's new here, thanks for joining me today. Today is going to be a pretty simple one. It's going to be a little bit of a review. I'm not going to call this my absolute real review. If you guys have been around, you guys know I break things down into like first time use, kind of like my first impressions, and then after a while of using a product or something, I like to put time behind it, because I'm not one of those people where like I just look at something, I'm like, that's exactly what you need. I don't do that. I do the use it, beat it up, see how many times it breaks, let you guys know what the problems could be, couldn't be. It's a wonderful thing of doing this all myself, kind of, is, yeah, you guys get honest truth. So obviously if you guys read the description and seen the thumbnail, we're going to be doing a review. Well, like I said, this is the first impressions kind of review of the Curado DC. This one is actually the Curado DC 151XG, and it's a left-hand drive. So just so you guys know, that's what we're going to get into. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the rod I have it on and kind of what I did with it the first time out, and tell you guys what I've experienced so far. Okay, first, let's get started with a little shameless plug here, because I could use all the assistance possible considering how expensive this stuff actually is. If you guys have watched my previous videos, you know that this is all going for good reason, and you know I'm doing everything for a good thing. But DW's Outdoors merch. This is a long sleeve. I just have my sleeves rolled up right now. But this is a premium long sleeve, I believe. There's a bunch of different options. I have it linked in the description below. I always link almost everything I use in the description below. It basically is what helps keep this channel going right now. Obviously, you guys are helping greatly, because anytime you guys watch, hit the thumbs up button or comment below, it helps. So leave some comments below on this video, and obviously hit the thumbs up if you guys enjoy this kind of review. Like I was saying before, this is more of a first-hand experience kind of thing. It's like, so if you guys seen my last video where I talked about this whole setup, I've used it, and now I want to let you guys know what like my first impressions are. Normally I would just do that on the water, and I kind of did. If you guys didn't see that video, I'll link that video of me my first time out with it at the end of this one. But normally I'm like so focused on fishing and like trying to get like an understanding of what I'm doing, basically going through the learning process, that I didn't get a chance to really get in depth with you guys. First things first, if you guys are new here and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, this is my new Apex Elite. This one's a medium heavy fast action bait casting rod. It's made by Tuned Up Customs. And then the reel we're obviously talking about is this one right here, the Curado DC. Right now I still have my frog tied on it that I was using. I have Suffix 832. This is 30-pound braid on here. It seemed to work pretty good. It does appear to bite down a little bit if you are fishing like heavier cover or stuff like that. I might have to go with a heavier thing. One thing I asked before that I don't think I got any comments on yet was basically I wanted to get, if you guys know enough about bait casters, I'm still kind of learning this again, should I use a thicker braid? So this is, I think it's 8-pound equivalent, like diameter. Should I be using, so this is 30 pounds. Should I be using like 60 pound? Because then it would be like a 12 or a 13 or 14, 15 pound mono diameter. And like that makes more sense for this. Let me know in the comments below. I have to ask you guys because I don't know enough about this. And there's no better people to ask than you guys that actually go fishing with bait casters on a regular basis. But let's get back to the review on this thing. Okay, so obviously as you can see, this is the Curado DC. And then I'm going to flip it over here. It's upside down, but you can see it's the 151XG. Obviously, it's a left-handed drive here. Reason I went with left-handed drive is just it feels natural. I'm not left-handed by any means, but it just I like casting and setting the hook with my right hand, and that's kind of how I went with it. so far from what I've learned, I'm gonna go over the key points with this, but just kind of, you know, so you guys can see what this Curado looks like. I think that's your gear ratio right there, 8.5. Like I said, this is a high-speed gear ratio, and the reason I did that is I'd rather have something that's too fast and slow down my reeling speed than something that's too slow and I have to crank like heck to just get something moving. You never know when you're going to need to speed, so I went with the high gear. So far, the things I like about it, these handles are comfortable. That works pretty good. Paired up with my rod, everything sits in my palm pretty comfortably. So I just wanted to show you this. So everything kind of sits in my palm real comfortably. I had to figure out like what, you know, I haven't done this in a long time, fish with a bait caster, and I know a lot of people will fish like this. So trigger finger on there. I know a lot of people that will actually like just kind of Mongol grip their whole thing when they're fishing it. I kind of figured out like you know, keep the finger on the braid here for sensitivity and kind of palm the side of it, and that seems like my go-to right here. Although I do get little finger cramps because I'm not used to this, squeezing these two fingers like this. But otherwise, the way this sits, the shape of it and everything, I don't have big hands by any means. They're not small, but they're not monster hands. So this is a very low profile small reel. That's another reason I went with it, is because it's a very small reel. It allows me to, you know, palm it like this. And then as far as like comfortability, see if I can do this with, so yeah, it's hard to do this with one hand, but you guys can see like everything, the way they put this together so far seems to be exactly what I need to get back into the bait casting world. I know a lot of people are going to talk crap basically because I went from no bait casters to one of the best bait casters. It's just kind of how I do things. I have 3 very nice spinning reels up there that most people would never spend the money on. But that's because I wanted something with reliability and good backing. I know there's a way of like just going out and trying a bunch of different things and all that stuff. But my thing is I didn't want to deal with bird's nest. I have got one backlash, but it wasn't too bad with this. I basically drilled the water. You guys probably never seen it. Because I was trying like a sidearm or something like that. I still have a lot to learn. This one's got, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Okay, you can see it right there. So this one's got 4 settings. I have it on 2 right now. And obviously you got 1 that way, 2, 3, 4, and then the last one is free spool. So then you would just be thumbing it like you normally would when you're casting. A lot of people probably are pretty spoiled these days because there's such good braking systems in these. And the thing is I grew up used to hitting the button and then holding down casting, and then as you let it go, you would thumb the spool. That's how you judged how far a bait went. It wasn't all the fancy braking stuff inside. This thing has a DC chip in it, so a little digital computer chip inside it, which is freaking insane. It sounds amazing when the braking engages, and yeah, I've been loving it so far for the first day I've used it. Okay, so far, some of the main things I need you guys to know, basically going along with the title of the video, should you buy one? If you have the money, mind you, don't go buying this if this is your last dollar in the bank account. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. There's plenty of cheaper reels. You can start with a $40 one and work your way up. Like I said, if you watch the other video that has this involved, just go back through my bass fishing playlist or my lures review or lures and stuff review playlist. I basically talk about how somebody very special to me did this for me, and I probably wouldn't have it otherwise. So it's literally one of those things where if I was to be the one getting this, I wouldn't have it right now. I can be straightforward with you guys. I know it's a great reel. I like how it worked the first day. I wouldn't own it because I couldn't afford it. It's just kind of how it works. Well, I don't foresee being able to afford it. But one of the things I want all of you guys to know is this. The star drag on this thing, I think it's still, yeah. So I had the star drag locked down in order to frogfish, because what was happening is even like that, like 2 or 3 clicks back from lockdown, the spool wasn't locked enough that when I was setting the hook and the fish were in the weeds, if they just dove down right away, it would give them too much slack and they would shake the hook. Obviously, frog fishing isn't like the best example of like getting a good hook set, because if it was open water, I'm pretty sure even with that drag a little bit loose and how stiff this rod is, I would be driving hooks home all day long. I'm hoping to get back out here soon and do some different baits. I just went with the frog right away because I've been wanting to fish this exact kind of setup, frog fishing, for a while now. Plus a bunch of you guys were giving me crap and I can't take the pressure. Plus I've always wanted another one of these. I mean, it was one of those things where it was inevitable, it was going to happen again, but I didn't realize it was going to go this far. So just keep that in mind. The 151 XG high gear ratio, when you're running the drag, I don't know if you can build these up. I know a lot of bait casters, you can build up the systems in them. One thing I want you guys just to understand is that, like, even if you're almost all the way down, cranked down, and you're fishing heavy cover, be ready for fish to like shake the hook. You might have a better hook setup percentage than me, and bring every fish in, even with a looser drag. But I cranked that thing all the way down to basically locked, and that's when I started getting my hookups on it. So that's just something I want you guys to pay attention to. Just trying to think of another thing that... Okay, so I won't lie, I looked up a bunch of different YouTube videos just to make sure that I had this set up properly. Everybody seems to go with number 2 for a braid, or basically, like, you know, any kind of like basic braid stuff. And then I forgot, 1 is lighter, I believe, and I think they were saying for skipping it was 4. So it's kind of like back and forth across the spool. And then obviously you have open, so then it's just you thumbing the reel. But the other thing is your spool tension knob. Basically what I was taught from watching the different videos was making sure that like your spool doesn't move. So like just it'll rock, like if you loosen this, it'll rock back and forth, like pop back and forth, and you'll hear it clicking if you're just real quiet. And you just want to get it just tight enough so it just stops doing that. And I did all that before I ever went fishing, and my very first couple of casts, it felt like everything was perfect. So apparently that works. So that's just some information for you guys. Don't take it to heart. I'm not a professional at this thing yet. I'm going to get really good at it, because I'm going to enjoy fishing with something like this big bad meat stick. This thing's a monster, and I like that. I wanted something that was just beefy, and I have it now. Alright guys, so basically the overview is what I wanted to get out to you guys today. It was just a simple thing from my first-hand experience. So this is something that like you can fish with something for a long period of time and kind of be biased towards liking it because you've used it for a while, even if it is new to you. But this is brand new to me. I've never had a nice bait caster in my entire life, let alone a nice bait caster and rod setup. Like I said before, I'll list everything in the description below. It helps the channel out when you guys buy stuff. It doesn't give me like millions of dollars or anything like that. It literally gives me enough for gas money to get out and film for you guys. To be truthful. But the big thing here is the DC. When you get this, if you go through the diligence of setting it up properly, I'm telling you right now, coming from somebody who's basically inexperienced in the bait casting world for a while now, I haven't had one in a long time, it makes life very, very simple. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing. Obviously watch a few videos and stuff like that. I'm going to try and figure out how to put together some like maybe learning videos with it. But like I said, this is my first season with it. I might wait till next spring or next summer in order to get some better videos out with it. If you guys remind me, so next year, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and remind me next year to go out and really do like some breakdowns of like how it's been, maybe some follow-up videos. I probably will next year, or maybe this fall, do like a complete like review of the reel, one where I talk about like the ups and downs and things I've had to learn with it, and the different fish species I've used it with and stuff like that. But for the most part, right now, the Apex Elite, what was this one? Sorry. So this is a 7.6 medium heavy, and it is medium heavy fast. It's a decent beater of a rod. Like it's real heavy duty. I was able to winch fish up out of, you know, pads and stuff like that. If you guys watch the video at the end of this one, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then the DC 151 XG, that seemed to be enough for doing the frog fishing that I was doing. I'm gonna try and take this out and fish for some even bigger fish for it, and maybe even go take it catfishing or something like that. Just kind of put it through its test, and hopefully I don't break it. But otherwise, hopefully today's video is kind of like a push in the right direction. If you guys want to get it, get it. But like I said, don't spend your last pennies on it. But this is for the people that are like on the fence. It's one of those things. I didn't know if I'd want it, and then I didn't really think I was going to get one ever. But because my significant other decided for me that she was going to get it, I took it and said, yes, I'll try it. And I'm very, very happy that I did, because it's exactly what I needed. So, like I said before, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it helps you guys out make a couple decisions. This isn't like, I'm not a professional for Shimano or anything like that. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. This is literally me trying to say, hey, if you want the reel and you think you're going to put it to use, get it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, can you please just remember to